In a shocking turn of events that has left fans and media buzzing, the country music scene was rocked by an unexpected confrontation on the set of The Kelly Clarkson Show, where Miranda Lambert, the fiery Texan songstress known for hits like Gunpowder Lead and Tin Man, reportedly walked off mid-interview following a heated exchange with host Kelly Clarkson. The incident, which unfolded on a recent episode taped in late August 2025, began innocently enough as the two artists, both celebrated figures in the music industry with deep roots in country and pop, sat down to discuss Lambert's latest album and her upcoming tour. Clarkson, ever the warm and engaging host, started with lighthearted banter, praising Lambert's resilience and her recent charitable efforts with the Band Together Texas benefit concert, which aimed to support flood victims in Central Texas. However, the atmosphere shifted dramatically when the conversation veered into personal territory, with Clarkson making a seemingly offhand remark about Lambert's past marriage to Blake Shelton, a topic that has long been a sensitive subject for the singer since their high-profile divorce in 2015. Lambert, visibly taken aback, responded with a sharp retort, accusing Clarkson of insensitivity, which set the stage for an escalating argument that stunned the live audience and crew alike. As the exchange grew more intense, with Lambert raising her voice and gesturing emphatically, Clarkson attempted to defuse the situation with an apology, but the damage was done. Sources close to the production later revealed that Lambert stood up, declared she was done here, and stormed off the set, leaving Clarkson visibly shaken and the segment abruptly cut short. This unexpected clash has sparked widespread speculation about the underlying tensions between the two artists, who were once considered friendly colleagues, and has ignited a firestorm of reactions across social media platforms like X, where fans are dissecting every moment of the encounter. The full story of what transpired behind the scenes remains murky, but the incident has undoubtedly added a new chapter to Lambert's reputation as a no-nonsense performer willing to stand her ground, while also raising questions about Clarkson's ability to navigate tricky personal dynamics on her show. As news outlets scramble to piece together the details, clips of the confrontation, though heavily edited, have begun circulating, fueling debates about professionalism, personal boundaries, and the pressures of live television, with some viewers expressing sympathy for Lambert's stance and others criticizing her for what they perceive as an overreaction. The lack of an official statement from either artist or the show's producers has only intensified the intrigue, leaving audiences eagerly awaiting further developments in this unfolding drama that has captivated the entertainment world on this August day in 2025. As the dust begins to settle on the dramatic walk-off from The Kelly Clarkson Show, the narrative around Miranda Lambert's abrupt departure continues to evolve, with new details emerging that paint a more complex picture of the fiery confrontation that led to her exit. The incident, which occurred during a segment intended to promote Lambert's latest musical endeavors and her philanthropic work, took a sharp turn when Clarkson, perhaps unintentionally, brought up Lambert's ex-husband Blake Shelton, a name that still carries emotional weight for the country star. According to eyewitness accounts from the studio audience, Lambert's initial reaction was one of surprise, followed by a pointed comment about respecting her privacy, which Clarkson appeared to brush off with a laugh, possibly misjudging the mood. This misstep seemed to ignite Lambert's temper, leading to a heated exchange where she accused Clarkson of exploiting her personal life for ratings, a charge that struck a nerve given Lambert's history of dealing with media scrutiny post-divorce. The argument escalated as Lambert stood her ground, her voice rising over Clarkson's attempts to steer the conversation back to safer ground, culminating in her dramatic declaration of "I'm done here." Before exiting the stage, behind the scenes, insiders suggest that the tension may have been brewing for some time, with Lambert reportedly feeling uneasy about the interview format after learning that Clarkson planned to touch on her past relationships, a topic Lambert had explicitly asked to avoid. This revelation has led to speculation that the confrontation was less about the single offhand remark and more about a breakdown in communication between the two artists' teams, with some suggesting that Clarkson's producers pushed for a more sensational angle to boost viewership. On X, the incident has sparked a polarized response, with some fans defending Lambert's right to set boundaries and others questioning her professionalism, while clips of the exchange, albeit fragmented, continue to rack up views, amplifying the story's reach. The absence of a clear narrative from either party has allowed rumors to flourish, including whispers of a long-standing rivalry or unresolved issues from their shared history in the country music scene, though no concrete evidence supports these claims. As the entertainment world watches closely, the incident has also prompted broader discussions about the challenges faced by female artists in the public eye, with many pointing to Lambert's walk-off as a bold, if impulsive, stand against invasive questioning, setting the stage for what could be a defining moment in her career trajectory. The aftermath of Miranda Lambert's walk-off from the Kelly Clarkson Show has turned into a media frenzy, with every detail of the August 2025 confrontation being analyzed and reanalyzed as new perspectives emerge from those present and online commentators alike. The initial spark of the dispute, traced back to Clarkson's mention of Blake Shelton, quickly unraveled into a public spectacle that highlighted the fragility of personal boundaries in the high-stakes world of television. Audience members have shared that the tension was palpable as Lambert's expression shifted from polite engagement to frustration, her body language growing more animated as she challenged Clarkson's line of questioning, which she perceived as a breach of trust. The moment she stood and declared her exit was met with a stunned silence, followed by a hurried attempt by the crew to transition to a commercial break, leaving Clarkson to awkwardly address the camera with a forced smile. Behind the scenes, sources indicate that the production team was caught off guard, with some blaming a lack of preparation for Lambert's known sensitivity to her past, while others defend Clarkson, arguing she was simply trying to connect on a personal level. The lack of an immediate statement from either star has fueled a narrative vacuum, filled by speculation on platforms like X, where fans have posted everything from supportive memes of Lambert's defiance to critical threads accusing her of diva behavior. Some have even dug into past interactions between the two, noting their duet of "Good Luck, Babe" in September 2024 as evidence of a once-friendly rapport now seemingly shattered. The incident's timing, coinciding with Lambert's promotion of her new album and the recent cancellation of Clarkson's appearance at the Band Together Texas concert due to the death of her ex-husband Brandon Blackstock, adds layers of emotional context that may have contributed to the charged atmosphere. As the story spreads, it has also sparked a wider conversation about the pressures of live TV interviews, with industry insiders suggesting that such moments are rare but not unprecedented, citing examples like Whoopi Goldberg's walk-off from The View. For now, the public awaits clarification, but the event has undeniably cemented itself as a cultural talking point, with Lambert's bold exit resonating as both a personal stand and a potential career pivot. As the story of Miranda Lambert's dramatic exit from the Kelly Clarkson Show continues to dominate headlines in mid-August 2025, the focus has shifted to the broader implications of the confrontation, with analysts and fans alike dissecting the emotional and professional fallout for both artists. The incident, triggered by Clarkson's ill-fated reference to Blake Shelton during what was meant to be a celebratory interview, unfolded with Lambert's swift rebuttal and eventual walk-off, a move that has been both praised as authentic and criticized as unprofessional. Eyewitnesses recount that the studio atmosphere grew tense as Lambert's voice rose, her words cutting through Clarkson's attempts to apologize, with the country star's frustration boiling over into a public declaration of "I'm done here." That echoed beyond the set. Production sources later revealed that the segment was hastily edited for broadcast, omitting the most heated exchanges, but leaked clips on X have kept the controversy alive, showing Lambert's determined stride offstage and Clarkson's flustered reaction. The timing of the event, occurring just days after Clarkson pulled out of Lambert's Band Together Texas benefit concert following Brandon Blackstock's death, has led some to speculate that unresolved grief or miscommunication between their teams may have amplified the tension. Lambert's team has remained silent, while Clarkson's camp has issued a vague statement expressing regret for any misunderstanding, fueling further debate. On social media, the narrative splits along fan lines, with Lambert's supporters hailing her as a champion of personal boundaries and Clarkson's defenders arguing she was unfairly targeted, with some pointing to her history of supporting Lambert, including their 2024 duet. The incident has also reignited discussions about the scrutiny faced by female artists, with commentators noting Lambert's history of calling out disruptive fans at concerts as evidence of her uncompromising nature. As the entertainment industry watches, the lack of a resolution leaves open the possibility of a reconciliation or a lasting rift, with the event likely to influence future interactions between the two and their public personas in the weeks to come. The reverberations of Miranda Lambert's walk-off from the Kelly Clarkson Show continue to ripple through the entertainment landscape in late August 2025, as the initial shock gives way to a deeper exploration of the factors that led to the explosive confrontation and its potential long-term impact on both artists' careers. The pivotal moment came when Clarkson, in an attempt to forge a personal connection, referenced Lambert's ex-husband Blake Shelton, a topic that instantly soured the mood and prompted Lambert to challenge the host's intent, her tone shifting from cordial to confrontational. Audience members describe a charged silence as Lambert stood, her "I'm done here," ringing out before she exited, leaving Clarkson to navigate the awkward aftermath alone. Behind the scenes, whispers suggest that the interview's direction was altered at the last minute by producers seeking a more dramatic angle, a decision that may have blindsided Lambert, known for her guarded approach to her personal life since the Shelton divorce. Leaked footage on X, though incomplete, shows the escalation, with Lambert's animated gestures contrasting with Clarkson's attempts to de-escalate, adding fuel to the online fire where fans debate her actions, some seeing it as a justified stand, others as a career misstep. The context of Clarkson's recent withdrawal from the Band Together Texas concert, prompted by the tragic loss of Brandon Blackstock, adds a layer of complexity, with some speculating that emotional rawness on both sides contributed to the clash. Industry observers note that such incidents are rare but telling, reflecting the intense pressure of live television and the personal toll it can exact, especially for artists with public pasts like Lambert's. As the story unfolds, the absence of official statements keeps the narrative fluid, with potential for either a public apology or a permanent estrangement, while also prompting a broader dialogue about the treatment of artists in media settings and the balance between authenticity and professionalism. As the saga of Miranda Lambert's walk-off from the Kelly Clarkson Show enters its second week in August 2025, the incident has evolved into a cultural phenomenon, with every nuance of the confrontation being scrutinized as new accounts and perspectives emerge from the studio and beyond. The trigger point, Clarkson's mention of Blake Shelton during a promotional interview, unleashed a torrent of emotion from Lambert, who swiftly moved from defending her privacy to storming off after declaring "I'm done here," in a moment that has been replayed across social media platforms like X. Audience recollections paint a vivid picture of the escalating tension, with Lambert's rising voice and pointed gestures clashing with Clarkson's flustered attempts to regain control, a dynamic captured in fragmented clips that have gone viral despite the show's efforts to edit them out. Insider sources suggest that the interview's shift toward personal topics was a producer-driven move to boost ratings, a gamble that backfired given Lambert's known aversion to revisiting her past, particularly after years of media intrusion following her divorce. The timing, juxtaposed with Clarkson's recent absence from Lambert's Band Together Texas event due to Brandon Blackstock's death, has led to theories of heightened sensitivity on both sides, though no definitive link has been confirmed. Fan reactions on X range from admiration for Lambert's boldness to criticism of her perceived diva behavior, with some digging into their 2024 duet as evidence of a fractured alliance. The incident has also sparked a wider conversation about the challenges of live TV, with parallels drawn to other walk-offs, and has positioned Lambert as a figure of both defiance and vulnerability. With no official word from either party, the story remains open-ended, poised to shape their public narratives and potentially alter their professional trajectories in the coming months. With the Miranda Lambert walk-off from the Kelly Clarkson Show now a defining moment of August 2025, the entertainment world remains captivated by the unfolding drama, as the initial confrontation gives way to a prolonged examination of its causes and consequences for both artists. The flashpoint occurred when Clarkson's casual reference to Blake Shelton during a routine interview segment prompted Lambert to challenge the intrusion, her frustration boiling over into a decisive "I'm done here" as she left the set, leaving Clarkson to manage the stunt aftermath. Eyewitnesses from the audience describe a palpable shift, with Lambert's animated defense contrasting with Clarkson's apologetic tone, a tension preserved in leaked text clips that have kept the story alive despite heavy editing by the show. Behind the scenes, reports indicate that producers may have pushed for a more personal angle to spice up the segment, a move that clashed with Lambert's explicit request to avoid such topics, highlighting a potential miscommunication that fueled the clash. The recent context of Clarkson's withdrawal from the Band Together Texas concert following Brandon Blackstock's death adds an emotional layer, suggesting that both women may have been operating under significant stress, though this remains speculative without official confirmation. On X, the divide among fans is stark, with Lambert's supporters lauding her stand against media overreach and critics questioning her professionalism, while past collaborations like their 2024 duet are re-examined for signs of underlying tension. The incident has also ignited a broader discourse on the treatment of artists in live settings, with industry voices noting its rarity and its reflection of the pressures faced by public figures. As the silence from Lambert and Clarkson persists, the event stands as a potential turning point, with the possibility of reconciliation or a lasting rift looming large, shaping their careers in the narrative of female empowerment and music for the foreseeable future. 25 web pages.